Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Karina Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, we're just going to do another Velocity Banking review. So, what is Velocity Banking? All it is a debt payoff strategy where you throw all of your money into debt using something called the line of credit. And so, first step to Velocity Banking is creating a budget. So, your budget essentially is your debt attack plan. You have your income, expenses, leftover savings, and then you have your expense breakdown. So as you can see right here in our expense breakdown, we list every single debt that we have, and we have a big $120,000 student loan. So hopefully we went to law school with that loan, $120,000. And how many lawyers do you know who are freaking out about law school loans? And then we got a cheap mortgage for $200,000 here. And then we got our personal, what we call our operating expenses, things that are not related to debt, food, gas, insurance, and all that other good stuff, right? And so with Velocity Banking, here's the secret to it. And a lot of people that you know will freak out when you tell them that you don't do this, which is save money. Okay. Save money. Right. So the reason why this works is because you're not saving money. And the reason why so many people are afraid to not save money, it's like, well, if I throw all of my money into loans or debt, how do I get the money back in case of emergencies? That's a valid fear. That's why we use a line of credit to handle our debts, right? For the two-way flexibility, a two-way street. And if you take a look here, okay, you see that my checking account has no money in it. So when money comes in, it just goes right out. It literally just goes right out, okay? Into something called a line of credit. And here's the cool thing. If you know how to work this strategy, especially with income generation and debts that are used to generate income, kind of like Airbnb, I'm doing a little bit of Airbnb, and look at this, $5,000 on a single family home in July. And I literally just started this in June. So you know how there's like an Airbnb crash? I watched all those videos and I was like, all right, I'm gonna start an Airbnb. And maybe the reason I did that is because I heard that the best time to start a business is when everybody is failing at it or if there's a crash. Now I don't know if there's a crash, it's all hype, but yes, you might be able to do this with an Airbnb. Did I just do a live stream on that? I think I did. Now, anyway, so let's go back to the main star of the show, which is just the velocity banking itself. So, what we're going to do is we're not going to save money, and I keep it quiet that I don't save money. Okay, if someone asks me, "Do I save money?" I'm like, "Yeah, I save money. I save money, right?" But I really don't. I don't want to freak people out. Okay, so we take a look here. There's 5 credit cards, there's a student loan and a personal mortgage, and we're going to assume something unrealistic is that we have access to a line of credit. So, what's a line of credit? All it is a financial tool where you could borrow money, pay back, and use it over and over again. So, this is my $373,500 line of credit, and my previous one was for 280. So this literally means I could go to the bank's website, click a button, and they can dump up to $373,500 into that line. That's what they can do. They will or not into my checking account and charge me at an 8.5% interest rate. Right. This one they actually charged me 7.5, but I wanted more limits and say, hey, if you get more money, access to more money, we're going to charge you 1% more. And I said, okay, I'm good with that. So if you want to know how much lines of credit that I have, okay, I literally got a new $14,000 credit card, which I haven't received in the mail last week. I got approved. Okay, I got approved by my local credit union. And then we scroll down here, right? We scroll down here, 14,000. Okay, that's a new one. And then in total, I have $711,540 in lines of credit. $711,000. $711,540 in lines of credit. In fact, you know, if I really wanted to, I could just set up like multiple Airbnbs just with this, right? I'm a little bit lazy. I don't want to set up multiple. I just want to focus on one at a time. But what if I did? Man, I'd have like 25 grand in cash flow. Well, not cash flow, maybe revenue. I could easily make 25 grand in revenue. But I'm being lazy. I'm just doing one property at a time. But anyways, so let's go back here. I'm gonna tell you the secret to getting lines of credit that you probably don't want to hear because most people who watch these videos are dug themselves into a hole and trying to get out. And what I'm saying is don't get yourself into that hole, right? So the way that you get money from a bank is understanding what they want. And a lot of people don't want to do this. They try to steal from a bank, they try to lie to them. I don't lie to banks, folks. I just tell them what my personal situation is, and I already know who they lend to. I already know what they want. Folks, banks don't lend money to people who need it. And if you understand that concept in general, like you understand that concept that they don't lend money to people who need it, they just kind of it's like candy. They just kind of give it out. So I was just like, all right, well, I was talking or not talking. I was like up at 1 a.m. and I'm kind of bored. It's like, all right, do I need money right now? No, I don't need money. Let me go ahead and apply for a credit card at the local credit union. Next day, 14 grand. They're like, you've been insta approved, sir. And I was like, thank you. Please give me the whole 14 grand. Okay. Because I know the secret that they don't lend money to people who need it. Right. And so here's the thing. And the reason I say this is because people say, well, how do you get a line of credit? And I say, you're not going to get a line of credit. Most unlikely to get a line of credit at this point. Right. Just don't get here. It's like car insurance. See, here's the thing. This is what I call the car crash without car insurance. Okay. And what too many people want is they want to get to here without building a foundation. And so what you want is the car insurance before you drive, okay? But too many people are like, they crash the car in a metaphorical sense and then say, well, how do I get car insurance now? Right? That's how the bank sees you when you try to get a line of credit and you're in this position. So don't ever get here, right? But a lot of people are like, well, blah, 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 blah. And then they just, I don't know, like they get outraged or something. I'm just telling you that the reason that I have over $711,000 in lines of credit is because I know what the banks want. It's just they don't want to lend money to people who need it. Okay. They don't. Alright. So, but let's assume that we did have a lifesaver, which is a line of credit, and we just dumped our credit cards into it and maximized our cash flow, right? So how much is this? How many credit cards is this? Which is 15, 27, 30, 35, 12. And by the way, I got this comment about how arrogant I am, and that's because if you don't know who I am, I paid off a mortgage in 2 years and 9 months. So take that for what you will. Okay. It's like telling Michael Jordan, well, Michael Jordan, you show off too well that you're good at basketball. I'm like, Michael Jordan's going to look at you like you're the dumbest person on earth. Okay. I'm not saying I'm the Michael Jordan of basketball. I'm just saying I paid off a mortgage 2 years and 9 months. So that makes me a velocity banking diva. Okay. That's literally what I am, girlfriend. I'm the velocity banking diva girlfriend. Actually, isn't that what Dr. Evil said in Austin Powers? Never mind. Okay, I got to watch Austin Powers again. But yes, I paid off my mortgage in 2 years and 9 months. All right, so let's go ahead and move some of this debt into the line of credit. And cheat code, just start off with the high interest rate credit cards, right? So it's 119,000. And guess what happens here when we move those credit cards into that line of credit? Oh, what happened here? Oh my goodness. These credit card payments just went away and somehow this $18 magically went to 3,858.43 with even though we didn't save money. See, you gotta tell people, you gotta kind of like these days you can't give it to people straight. Like if you tell people things that they don't like to hear, they freak out. And I don't know what it is, but if you tell people like I don't save money, they freak out even though they're broke. You ever notice that? Like I don't save money. But then because you're intentionally not saving, they're like, no, of course you save money, but it's like, how much money do you have saved? Oh, nothing. Okay. So $18.43 and $3,858.43. And then who knows? Maybe we can make this number increase by doing some Airbnb. What one guest wanted to stay and pay 13 grand? That's ridiculous. I'm just making this up. Oh, so I can get my sweet $200 of YouTube ad revenue. Just increase the watch time. I'm not doing any of this, folks. This is all just Photoshop, just so I could get my $200 of ad revenue on YouTube. Anyways, all right, so let's go ahead and do this. And so final step, which is to put the entire 7,500 into that line of credit, which will do two things. It satisfies the minimum monthly payment. Okay. And then number two, it will lower the interest because it's based on the average daily balance, right? But we got to be strategic about this. So let's go ahead and do this. I2 plus 1 And then it's going to be G2 plus H2 minus our cash flow, 3858.43. That's how we get the next month's balance. And then we get the balance based on the average daily balance, right? That's how they calculate a line of credits, divide by 8, divide by 12, right? And I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this, right? So bam, bam, bam. Look at that. Look at that. Well, blam. Kazam. I look Kazam. Remember that movie Shazam with Shaq? I actually never watched it. Maybe I should watch it. Anyways, so 35 months. 35 months, right? 35 months. And then how much was that? 119K? Yeah. Everybody's freaking out about like their 5, 10 grand credit card debt. 119K, no problem. Now, let's do this. Okay. So it's 119K and 35 months. So we got this loan calculator here to tell us how much our current balance is, right? And then what we're going to do is get rid of the student loan. Now we got this velocity banking calculator right here to tell us with the amortized loans what's the expected payoff will be. And if you don't know where I got this from Renatus, which is the whole point of this YouTube channel, so I could create a YouTube funnel to sell these educational courses and make commission, even though I don't really need it. But it's good motivation for me to make some of these videos. But a lot of people, when they see like, oh my goodness, this costs money, then they kind of freak out. Okay. Like that's the weird thing. But here's the thing. When you pay me, I'm gonna say this, it's actually good for you. And the more you pay me, the more you pay attention. I'm not gonna lie. Like, why do I need your money? The bank knows I don't need their money, so they just lend it to me. But a lot of you are like, well, I gotta do some investigation about this person, and you watch like 1,000 of my videos. And it's like, what? But that's not enough. Anyways, what are we even talking about? All right, so let's go ahead and use this velocity banking calculator. So this is 120,000 here, and then what's the balance? 116,192.d, so 116,192.93, and then the interest rate is 35 months. Oh wait, that's the wrong interest rate. 35. Wait a minute. Interest rate is 7% for 30. Is it 30 years? Oh, I screwed up. Oh, brother, I screwed up. Uh-oh. Let me just do this. Am I negative cash flowing now? Ooh, I'm still negative cash flowing. All right, let's do this. Oh, I'm positive cash flowing. Maybe it's not as much as I wanted to, but at least I'm still positive cash flowing. All right, let's redo this. My bad. 3263.49. Okay, so this took us 42 months. Oh, wow. So here's the thing. We were at negative $576, and now we're positive cash flow at 3,000. That's pretty good. Man, I really screwed up. So this is going to be month 42. So 42 months. So just 7 more months. Just hang in there, bro. You were really drowning, right? Not even $17, negative $500. And yeah, so 42 months. What's the balance? So 42, right? And then, okay, so let's just do this. 87112.28, 87112.28, and then this is going to be 8% line of credit. And what is the income? It's 7,500, and then the living expenses is 2843.21. So you just do everything except for the loan you're trying to pay off. So 2843.21. And then what's the payment amount? That is 1393.3. So 1393.3. And then it'll be $8,000. We're in chunk, and we see that we paid the student loan off in 2 years. Pretty good, right? Let's see if there's a big difference. Really interesting. So if we move this 7% loan into this 8% line of credit, it gets paid off even quicker. That's the first time I've ever seen this. Not gonna lie, we're making history, folks. So we're all right. Well, let's do that. 1.7 years, pretty good. So let me just do this. 0, 42 ti times 1.7 times 12. So we don't need to chunk. So this is going to be 63 months. And then this is going to be 120 plus 119. That's going to be 239K. All right. And then, all right. So let me just do this right here. Um, oh, you know, it's because I did 10 years. Oh, my bad. Well, I don't think it makes a difference, does it? 10-year term, 1.7 years. Let me do an $8,000 chunk. Okay, that makes sense. All right, maybe that was it. See, I'm screwing up today just because, like, I don't know. I already did a live stream. Airbnb Velocity Banking, 99 cents. Click the Google form link below if you want to pay me. Or if you want to join, click the join YouTube channel member or whatever. All right, so 1.7 years, that's good. So now we got rid of that. And then what year are we, or month are we? 63 months. So we get a loan calculator, 63. All right. And then we just fill it in 200,000, right? So 200,000, 30 years, 3%. And then this is going to be 843.21. So here, what's the current balance? It's 176,613, 176,613.71. And then we're going to be at $2,000 expenses because it's everything except for the loan we're trying to pay off, right? So we're trying to pay off this loan. These are our general expenses, and 7,500 is our income. So we just take a look here. And then 2.8 years. Woo, 2.8 years to pay off a mortgage. That's pretty sweet. So now this is 0. So this is going to be 63 divided by 12 plus 2.8. So that's going to be 8.05 years debt free. Sweet. Okay. All right. So that's it for today, I guess. And here's the thing, right? So I know some of you love to watch to the end because um, you want the secret code word to type into the YouTube comment box below, so to let me know that you watch to the end because you want to let me know that hey, you're a student of the game, right? You're a dedicated student of the game. So here's the code word of the video that you can type in the comment box below. That'll let me know you watched to the end. And the code word is I'm the Michael Jordan of velocity banking, right? Type that in the comment box below. Okay. All right. Well, that's it for today, folks. So again, Korean Lanta mentorship. No, in this household, we just don't save money here. It just goes into the line of credit, and yeah, that's what we do. And sometimes you got to keep quiet because you tell other people about it, and they freak out because everybody thinks they got to save money. All right. Well, that's it for today. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.